Welcome back to our podcast. This is our third episode. At least this is the third we're recording. I am Max.
I'm Toy.
And this is Boo. This is going to be the first of a few episodes in which we interview each other. Unfortunately, I am going to be the guinea pig, which means Toy
I'm so
is going to interview me today. She's excited, but I'm like, what kind of questions are you going to have for me? Like, I'm real nervous because of the way your brain works.
I know. Everybody knows I like to pick on Max, so I can't wait. I gotta find I'm getting ready already. Like, I'm so excited.
Yeah. It's make fun at Max's expense. Like every other recording here.
Well, we don't get to see your reaction anyway, so I figured I'd get it with some questions.
All right. Well, you guys get to enjoy me being picked on, I guess. So. No, it's all in good fun, right, Boo? Boo is like the number one picking on me. She goes and she needs on everybody, but when she needs on me, I get this.
Oh no! Oh my god!
Well, what actually happened was she decided to make herself comfortable on my lap and fell off, and it's.
Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah, she's fine.
I know. That's good. That's good, and you're fine too.
Yes, I shall live.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. I'm excited. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to calm down my cheeks.
All right. Well, let the torture begin.
All right. Should I go first then? Yeah, I should, right?
Well, everybody you're asking the questions. I'm answering. Usually the question comes before the answer.
Oh, okay.
I mean, in theory, that's how interviews work. And in this reality, at least.
Okay. We're going to start off a little normal, and then I'm going to get into it later. Okay. All right. Max?
Yes, that's me.
When it comes to movies, it's always hard to pick a favorite. Personally, I have a list of favorite movies, but if you had to pick your all-time favorite, which is the one and why?
Just one movie that's my all-time favorite?
Like out of the whole list of all of your favorites, you got to pick which one would you put at the top?
So I guess it depends on how we define favorite. Is it a movie that I watch on a regular basis?
You would pick out of all of them. Yeah, like the one you would watch the absolute most, and you would have, like maybe if you were locked in a room and had to watch one movie for a month. So what would it be?
It's an interesting question. So I'm not Hannah, so I'm not going to philosophize the question, even though I want to.
Yeah, right.
So what movie that I have watched so many times that I don't mind watching I guess it would be The Expendables.
Yeah?
Yes, because I've watched that movie easily 100 or more times, and I just enjoy it more and more every single time.
Oh, okay.
Just the humor in it, the way, the lightheartedness, even though it's got it's got your typical cheesy action movie plot, but the way it's done, with everyone just having a great time. It's got all the actors just having a blast, like all the old time heroes. It's I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's the very first time that Arnold and Sly shared the screen.
Yeah. That is cool.
Yeah, I think it's the first time. There's another movie where they're together that you haven't seen. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want it to be a spoiler.
Oh.
But I think The Expendables was the first, and it's just such a wonderful, delightful film. It's definitely my favorite action movie. When it was in the theaters, I went to see it multiple times during its run. I remember one time for 1 week I went to see it every day, and then after it came out on disc, I watched it every weekend.
Okay,
so that would be the movie.
Neat. I thought about it kind of a little bit, and I would have picked Scott Pilgrim. Only because it has music and fun in it.
All right, so music and fun.
Yeah, so I'd be able to listen to something in the background without paying attention to the TV.
So, it's a movie you can see yourself. If Scott Pilgrim had to play for a month.
Yes, I would do it. Okay. I would. Okay, if you were stranded on a deserted island, what 3 items would you take with you and why?
Okay, so what is the goal of having these items there? Are there items
you can have them for whatever you want. You can help them get off. And how would you do it?
Well,
Live there. Anything you want.
do the items have to be things that exist for real, or can they be things from fiction?
Ooh. Let's do that one because it's more fun.
Which one?
The fictional one. Let's do that one. That one's more fun.
Well, then I would have a replicator. And I don't really need anything else because the replicator will give me everything else I need.
Nice. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. All right, well, I can't argue with that one.
Folks, comment if you want, because there's a scene there's a really funny scene about the replicator in the Orville. Comment, folks, if you want us to do reactions to the Orville. I specifically want Hannah to watch the show because she's such a huge Star Trek fan. But comment if you think that's something you guys want to see.
I would probably bring like a guy that I have a fictional crush on in movies. Can I do that? Can I bring like Thanos or Darth Vader if I want to?
And then, so let's say you and Thanos are on this island, but there's no food. What are you gonna do?
Well, let's see. Three things. Okay. I would bring some something I could plant. Mm-hmm. And then I'll get some chickens. Mm-hmm. And that's probably it. So
you'll have like you and Thanos will eat chicken. I mean, Thanos was happy in his garden, so he knows how to.
Yeah, he knows how to do it. So we could live together happily ever after on this deserted island.
Are you and Thanos?
Okay. Maybe, or it depends on who I'm feeling. Maybe at the time, because I like Jack Sparrow too. Believe it or not, I like him as a fictional character.
Yeah, but he's irresponsible. Like
no.
How are you gonna survive with him?
I mean, he did it. He's Captain Jack Sparrow.
All right. Okay.
He's just there to look at, or when he runs and stuff like that. It's just fun. It's all fun. Okay, this is a serious question. Mm-hmm. Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Fight as into the death. All right. What are the weapons I'm allowed to have?
I don't know. I think you would have to fight them off. Like, go on. Like you have to fight. You have to you see this big duck horse, or do you see?
Then I think the bunch of little horses, because a horse-sized duck would have a massive bill that you could really do some damage. But those little horses, what can they do? Horses can't climb on you because they don't have hands. They just have hooves. So at worst, they would just be annoying, but they're little.
I would have taken the one horse-sized duck, and I don't know why until you just said that. That makes so much sense. Jeez. Oh my god. How did you get involved in running? Like, how did you start? What was your passion for it?
Do you want a short answer or a long answer that'll bore everybody?
Oh, I don't know.
Let's do it in between, so
Okay.
It's not like I decided to run, but also not one that'll have everyone tune out after an hour. I used to be like a complete and total schlimuzzle, like the wimpiest dude you could ever imagine. Like when I was a teenager, when I was like 18, you thought I was 12. Like I was short and skinny, and I was always like that. And as I grew up, and then as I got into my 30s, I decided to get fit because we were on the third floor, and one day I realized that a dude shouldn't get winded carrying cat litter to the third floor. And so I joined the gym, and I started, I realized I really enjoyed it. And then a little while later, I started dating somebody who was a runner. And so she got me into running. And then next thing you know, I signed up for a 5K. And I guess it's like people who talk about doing drugs. Oh, I tried a little bit of pot at this party, and now 5 years later, I'm locked up for like doing a boatload of cocaine. So same thing, like I ran a 5K, and now 8 years later, I've run 58 marathons, like 6 ultras, and more half marathons. Then like I have an entire not the wardrobe. Whatever you call the wardrobe with the clear glass you have in your kitchen. What's it called? Like where people put their pretty china.
Like
and stuff.
A bureau?
Yeah, a bureau. So I have a full one completely filled with like medals from races. So I have a little bit of a running problem. But yeah, that's how I started.
Oh, okay. Very interesting. This is it. This is funny, ready? Right. Do you consider yourself a cinephile?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
I just discovered that word the other day, so I wanted to use it. And so I decided to use it here. I was like, wait, I can ask that question today. So you're not really into movies? You're not a big movie buff?
I love movies, but
not
I lack the knowledge to be considered a cinephile. I didn't, I never went to film school, nor did I seriously study, like, the behind the scenes. Like, I have, amateur level knowledge, so, like, to call myself a cinephile would be to Dunning-Kruger myself. Like, I know just enough to think that I have knowledge, but in reality I really don't. So I can't say that.
I thought it meant something like a movie buff or something that was like a huge one, like super big, like knew all the little facts and everything about the movies, like the ones in our...
I want to know, but yeah, there are a lot of things. Because whenever I have a conversation with real cinephiles, they like know, well, in this scene, the reason the camera is positioned this way is because it makes this character appear this and this and this way.
That's true.
But I really lack that knowledge, or maybe the powers of observation to be able to acquire that knowledge. My
brother wanted to go to film school. Yeah. He used to say like things like that too, like the angles and stuff to make the character look a certain way.
I mean, it's awesome to learn that kind of stuff.
What fictional character do you identify with the most with, and why?
Am I being too pedantic in this interview? But how do we? How are we using the word identify? As in,
like if you saw a character on screen, it was like, oh my god, that's me right there, like down to a T. Like oh my god, I identify with that person like so much.
That is a difficult. That is a very difficult question.
I think I discovered mine just a couple, like, what was it, two days ago? I think. All right. Maybe.
So, well, since you brought it up, who is yours?
Kara. Is that her name? Crazy Cora.
Crazy Cora.
That's me, like, perfectly to a T. I told so many people about that after the movie. I was like, that's me. You're going to look at it and say, that's me. And they were like, that is you.
So I don't know what's going to be published first, this podcast episode or your reaction to Quigley Down Under. But, folks, if this reaction is out already when you're watching this, make sure to check out the reaction to Quigley Down Under. It's quite the video. But who would I identify with? It's hard to
see your reaction to his face. It
is a difficult question. It is a very difficult and interesting question. A while ago, I would have said Dante. Because I really, I just want to be left alone.
Wait. Which Dante?
From Clerks.
Oh, okay. I thought
Dante, no. But Clerks. Oh, but not really, not nowadays. I think we broke Tori.
I can see it. And it's funny, too, because he's so funny. It's like he's funny and doesn't know it. And it's like, bro, it's trying so hard to be serious. It's so funny.
But other than that, if I had to choose, I think it would be John McClane.
Oh, wait. John McClane.
Yeah, because John McClane is he is just, all he wants is to do his own thing. And he keeps on being he went to this Christmas party to try to talk to his ex-wife, and then all this shit happens, and then he's at the airport. All he wants to do is just he has his wife, meet his wife, and all this shit happens, and then later they ask him to transport this kid down to DC, and all this shit happens. All he wants to do is just do his own thing, but things keep on happening, and I feel sometimes John McClane. If John McClane worked in IT, well, then again, you know what? Yeah, maybe also Moss is a character I identify with. Yes, you know what? Forget all of that I said right now. Moss is the character I identify with. I don't have his hair, but if I did, yes, Moss he is the character I totally identify with.
Oh, he said scratch all that. Here's one thing I've been wanting to talk about for a little while, Max.
All right.
You mentioned before you were in a band.
Sure. So
I told you I was gonna have so much fun.
well, when I was like 18, 19, that's all I wanted was a band. So I tried for a long time to start my own band, but it just didn't work out because no one would ever be serious. Like everyone who wanted to play music, there was just an excuse. I want to play music. What they really wanted to do was hang out and do drugs. And I don't do drugs or.
So there was no music?
Well, no. So eventually I joined a band, a cover band, and it was actually a lot of fun when everyone was serious. Like the only two people in the band who were serious about making music was me and the singer. And the drummer and the guitar player, all they wanted to, like, the thing is, they were talented dudes. That guitar player was amazing. He would have played circles around Yngwie. But all he wanted to do was to get high. And same thing with the drummer. Like, he was spectacular. But again, all the two of them wanted was get together, and we would spend like 8 hours practicing. And over that 8 hours, we'd play for like 3 hours. And the rest of the time, it was just them bullshitting.
No.
But we did play some gigs, and it was a massive amount of fun. Like, it was a massive, massive amount of fun.
What did you play?
We played mostly covers.
What was your instrument?
Bass.
Oh, okay. I thought it was gonna be because I noticed that you didn't mention the bass. Did you explore any other music and tried maybe coming up with a rap video or something? No. I
don't think there's many things in life that I dislike as much as rap.
Oh.
So no, I did not come up with a rap video.
I thought we'd be able to hear you.
One time, somebody attempted to have me try sushi, and I probably hated that a little more than I hate rap. But that's very close.
Okay. This one was a good one. I thought about this one hard too. I was like, you know what? I need to know. Max, what is your favorite curse word?
So a lot of times when I don't notice, I think the best cursing happens when you don't notice you're cursing. It's just, just comes out. And the one I've noticed myself saying after the fact is I go like, holy crapskis. That's what I probably say the most.
I was told by Andreas Benning that pea soup was a way to cuss.
Do you say pea soup all the time?
I know, I did it because of him. He got me saying
pea soup. No, you were saying that before too.
No, he told me though.
Ah, okay.
He was the
original.
You
also one of the things you started from most in the very first video was son of a biscuit eater.
Yeah, that one I've heard before, but I've never heard pea soup. And then he sent it to me. I was like, no way, I'm gonna try to do that. And so far I've seen it 2 times, and I think I've said it more times recently too.
I thought you said it before.
I never knew. Thanks, Andreas.
Yeah, we really don't have a lot of cursing in English, but we're very creative with the few words that we do have. Like, they have so many meanings. Like, the word, like, there's a comedian. I don't want to plagiarize a comedian to say that this is my joke. There's a comedian whose name I forget. If you guys know, comment below. I think he's originally from either Finland or Sweden, and he talks about how when he moved to the United States, he's learned English and how we use our language, and like he makes fun of us using the word ass. How many different things it can mean. Like, you could have someone's an ass, but someone's a dumbass.
Yeah.
But someone's a smart ass.
Yeah.
And then you could say someone's smart and someone's smart ass, and has a vastly different meaning.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal how we use the one word to mean so many different things.
Oh.
Something's big, or that's a big ass house.
Yeah.
It just means it's a big house. Why is there an ass? So
do you like ass? Is that what you're saying? Because it has a mass.
I guess so.
You heard it here, folks.
I didn't think about that before. Russian has massive number of curse words. Like, I don't know them. I maybe know a few, but I do know that you could almost have a conversation in which you say no real words. Because I remember I used to work with a guy who served in the Russian military when he was younger, and he said like when things go bad, the language that people come up with in Russian is just phenomenal. Like the things that they can say. And he said one of the issues he had was when he got discharged and he came home, he realized he had a hard time communicating with people without like cursing so much that it would like make flowers wilt.
Wow.
So we don't really have that for some reason in English. We have a smaller vocabulary, but what we do with it is amazing. Like how people can like curse in so many interesting ways with using fewer words is incredible. It's just incredible.
That is pretty cool. You should say some of them. I can learn a couple words.
I don't know curse words in Russian. I just know a few here and there. But
I'll say the few.
What word? If you ever watch Russia, like there used to be a time when Russian car dash cam videos were all the rage on YouTube. Nowadays, everyone has dash cams worldwide, so it's not that big of a deal. But back in the day, it was just in Russia, and you'd see them have some situation like almost an accident, and the first thing they say is "Ёб твою мать," which pretty much translates like not an exact translation, but the meaning to us would be something like "oh shit," or like "oh," or just "f," but the exact translation, verbatim translation is "f your mother." But it's not something
I say that sometimes.
But it's not something you say to someone like "f your mother, Frank. You're an asshole." It's just something you say. Oh, like something happened. Like oh shit. You say "f your mother," and I thought that's just. I find that hilarious how different it is. Usually, one thing that's like when someone's really stupid. You know what? I don't want to say that because it's similar to a similar word in English, and we're going to demonetize. So I'm not gonna say.
Sorry, Max.
But one thing there's a version of that was a joke about this in Nobody. I think remember the one black Russian guy in Nobody, one of the bad guys was black?
Yeah.
And he said that his father is Ethiopian. So the F your mother thing, the more full version that I heard more commonly when I was a kid was "If ёб твою мамулю," which means let your mother be F'd by an Ethiopian.
Ah.
And I think that character in the movie Nobody was like a joke on that joke, so people who speak Russian will understand the joke. I thought that was brilliant. So what is your favorite curse word?
I can't say it.
Okay.
This is the C word.
It's a secret?
No, it's the C word. I think it's funny. It's just funny to say. It's a little spicy off the tongue.
C word.
Yeah.
Charlie?
No. Am I allowed to say it? Are we gonna bleep it?
We can bleep it and.
Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. It's gonna be bleeped. My favorite word is.
Ah. Well, I think it has a different meaning here versus like people in the UK use it differently. Like folks who are watching, who are from the UK, comment like how do you use that? Because in all the British movies, like it's like I feel like it's Jason Statham's characters in different movies say that all the time, and then obviously in The Boys, Billy Butcher said like every other word he says is that word.
Oh wow, I didn't know.
Do you know any curse words in other languages?
Yes, they're all Spanish words. I've said some before on the channel, and there wasn't bleeped out. It just
because I probably didn't know what it was when editing it.
I mean, it might have not been a bad one, but I heard if I picked up any Puerto Rican from my father and my mother, it was the curse words. So I've said words before, but I don't know. Am I allowed to say them?
Yeah.
Okay. I know like one is like mierda and carajo. I don't know if that's a super bad one.
What does it mean?
I don't know. See, they all change every time I ask, but it all has to do with maricon, pinche, something. My mom used to curse in a long sentence in Spanish. She heard it from my father. Mm-hmm. And she used to say it like this. It's going to be a lot of bleeps, but it was like, ay, Dios mío, carajo, coño, chochería, que madre, pinche eso. And I'm like, oh my God, what does that mean? I don't know, but...
When I was a little kid, my grandmother's friends, like these old Jewish ladies, they would curse in really funny ways.
Really?
Because they don't say curse words. They would have like they're really
like oh fork and shirt. And stuff? Oh.
They would speak to each other in Russian.
Oh.
But they would say things like, "I hope all these teeth fall out, but one stays and hurts," or something like that.
That is so funny. That really is funny. I get it. Wow, I like that. That's fun. I saw sometime on the internet, somebody was like, I will boil your kneecaps. I heard that one, but I'm just like unsettling thread, so sorry. Oh, Max, I've always wondered, do you have an unusual talent or party trick?
I mean, I can say the dumbest thing in the wrong moment and embarrass myself in front of everyone. Like
that's your party trick? Like, you don't do like a cool little like thing at a party where you're like, yeah, and everybody's like, whoa, you did something
my favorite
cool
thing to do
and unusual.
My favorite thing to do at a party is leave. But so.
Damn, Max.
Yeah.
No.
But I guess the other trick I have is just disappearing and appearing by the buffet table. That's one I really like doing. Like the buffet table is usually my friend at the party.
Oh my gosh.
Especially if they have those little the little meats and the little cheeses with the sticks.
Uh-huh.
And back in the day, I don't know if you're maybe too young for this, but back in the day, buffet tables were better because the little sticks, they looked like little swords.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Nowadays, they're just sticks.
They did. They still have those.
I haven't seen those in forever.
Like,
when I was a little kid, I used to collect them, take them home, and then give them
to your toys?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I know. I love that. All right, see, so now I know the next time I host a party, when I put out all the food in one spot, I'll put the little swords in there so that you have a good time. Speaking about that buffet.
What is your party trick?
Oh. Well, I do this thing where I put the Corona down on the table, and then I put my hands behind my back and I pick it up with my mouth and I drink it like this and it goes all the way
drink a beer without...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did you ever see Beer Fest?
Yes! With the boot? Was that it? And they had to... Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I did. Those were insane. They could get it. They could chug.
I was thinking that there may be a good movie for Hannah.
Yes. Oh my God.
Folks, comment if you want Hannah to watch Beer Fest.
Yes. Jeez Louise.
Hannah and Tori would be excellent Beer Fest. Tori may have seen it, though.
She could introduce her. She could be like, hey, Hannah, you got to check this out. That would be fun, too, because isn't that like Oktoberfest, right?
Yeah. So if we were to publish in October, we need to film like now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a good movie for Hannah and Tori.
Yeah, we should do that. That's good. I like that.
Rebu, do you want to do a reaction to Beer Fest?
I don't know where my mind went into thinking of these questions, but it went somewhere else.
All right.
For a brief moment about penguins. And one of them is, like, what would you do if you were right here right now and a penguin just walked in through the door with a top hat? What would he be here for?
That wouldn't be a really big penguin to be able to reach the door handle. Like, penguins are usually little. It would have to be like the door handle is like this high off the floor.
The door is open, so he comes in through the door. He wears a top hat. What is he here for?
Penguin with a top hat?
Yes. Why would he be here?
I don't know, but I would probably offer him a refreshment.
Yeah, my head went there because okay, so my first initial question was, what would you do if there was one in your freezer? And then I was like, what if it came out wearing a hat? Because it looks like it wears a suit.
Well, it would suffocate in the freezer, though.
Would you panic? What would be the look on your face?
I have no idea. What I've learned about myself, and I've never had this exact situation, but I've been in situations where something so unexpected happens, is that I somehow deal with the situation and then I panic afterwards. So like my brain just doesn't work right. Like I've had situations at the shop where something so unbelievable happens and somehow I deal with the situation and later I don't remember how it happened and I panic after the fact. Like one time this man walked into our shop and he was bringing his computer and suddenly his pants fell down.
Oh no.
And he pooped on the floor immediately.
Oh my god.
Like who would think that kind of thing would, and yet somehow I immediately went, like he said, "Oh, sorry," and he left. But I immediately went, got cleaning materials, and I cleaned the floor. And only afterwards was like, what the F did just happen? Like, how did this like, I panicked about it. Like, I was after the fact, after the dude left.
Oh my god.
So probably if the penguin showed up, I would probably, panic about it after the fact. But when he was there, I'll probably figure out what do penguins eat, or maybe some cat food. And then I would contact an animal shelter and see if they can take him.
Aw. Well, speaking about animals too,
Well, what would you do in this situation?
I would love him. I would go that route, you know. I would be like, "Oh my god, you're here for a reason." I would, you know, take care of him. Yeah, the best. He would be my buddy, my sidekick. I'd buy him all the fish and feed it to him, you know.
Okay.
I would accept my
your role as an adoptive penguin parent?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, cats walk in, like, she didn't walk in, but I had a situation one time where I was walking home from Wawa, and there was a kitten just sitting on the porch, like,
Aww.
and I opened the door and he came inside with me, and so I ended up fostering him until he got adopted.
Aww.
So it happens. It could have been a penguin.
That is cute. And actually, speaking about that, I did have a question about that here too. How long have you been working with helping animals, and are you going to continue fostering like more?
So on and off, like volunteering with a rescue started maybe a little over 20 years ago, and like the level of involvement changed. There was a time when I was a co-president of a rescue, and there was a time when I had fostered over 15 cats at the same time. But as time went on, you get burned out because it's a massive amount of work. Like, you think it's so cute to have all these cats, but you pretty much spend the entire day cleaning because any given moment there's a cat puking somewhere.
Oh my gosh!
And then I had a few big poop incidents and things like that.
That's not fun.
No. And so nowadays, my involvement is I am the cat taxi. I would get a phone call. There's a couple of cats that need to go to the doctor. As a matter of fact, on Thursday, I took a couple of cats to the doctor, and that's pretty much my only involvement right now.
Aww.
And I don't think I want to foster large numbers of animals anymore. I think I've gone past that stage.
Well, there you have it, folks. Stop asking Boo to blink.
Yeah, she's the only cat in this household now.
Yeah.
After we lost Shadow.
Yeah. Shadow was so fun. I think about him a lot too, like all the fun stuff he did. I would be like,
he was such a unique individual.
Yeah.
Well, that's how he ended up here. Is that I was fostering him, but nobody would adopt him because he was such a bastard, and so he ended up staying with me permanently. Because you'd bring him to PetSmart, but nobody could pet him because he'll bite and scratch, and so he stayed.
I feel like his name fit. Like, he reminded me of Shadow's attitude from, like, Sonic the Hedgehog. It was the first thing I thought. I was like, oh my god, you are like Shadow.
I didn't know there was
Let me love you. Yeah.
I think that they just named him because he's gray. Like, I don't think there was anything beyond that.
I thought you named him.
No,
Oh.
No, he already came with his name installed.
Wow, that's cool. This one's an interesting one too.
Mm-hmm.
What kids and I thought maybe I might have an idea of what this one was, but I don't know. Like, you know. But what kids movie is scary to you?
Kids movie is scary.
Yeah.
I guess E.T. would be the.
Oh my goodness!
E.T. is creepy as hell.
Yeah.
I really don't understand how that is a kids movie because it's super creepy. And I'm sure there are some cartoons with creepy characters I can't think about right now.
Yeah.
But E.T., yeah.
I actually forced myself to like E.T. I was trying to get over a fear, and I forced myself to like. Not as much as I pretended I did at the time. Like we went to Universal Studios, and I was like, "Yeah, let's go on the E.T. ride," and it was all fun and stuff. But just seeing him and watching the movie, he just frightened me. And then at the end of the ride, there was a doll at the end. Like, there was a whole bunch of E.T. merchandise, but there was one in particular that was actually tolerably cute. And I bought it. And it was like, he was made of plastic, and he had like a longer neck, and he was like this. And it was really pretty, actually. It was, they did a cute job on it. It wasn't like a ugly, scary thing. So I bought that, and I started like falling in love with it. Okay. And I was like, you know, but I don't like him now as much as I thought, you know, then, but it was just something to help get over a fear.
Well, I guess I'm wondering, folks, comment below if you agree that E.T. is creepy. Because I know Hannah thinks the same thing.
His feet, like, and his arms were all, he was like a penguin, actually, if you think about it, right? Yeah. His arms touched the ground, and and the way he would mimic you, it's not as cool as a predator. It's not like, want some candy. It's not like, it's like, ouch, you know? It's like, oh, I didn't like it. I was frightened. Ouch. That ouch part scared the hell out of me. So yeah, I could see that a lot. That was scary. I didn't even know that would be in a kid's movie either when I was younger and watching it. No clue.
Cue some boomer commenting, kids today are too soft. Or some...
If you could make a movie, what type would it be? Would it be action, horror, comedy? Do we get a spoiler? What would it be about?
So, do I get free reign as far as budget?
Yes, anything you want. It's you. Yep, absolutely. Go for it.
How about cast? Can I cast anyone
anybody you want?
I would take something I have already previously written and rework that into a script and into a movie. Like something. There's a story I wrote some years ago that I keep on reworking. I have never published it because it's one of the ones. Sometimes as a writer, you just have something that you write and it just doesn't. So you redo it, and then it's got a science fiction angle to it. In this particular story, I don't want it to be like a CGI fest. Like, that's one thing that I dislike about like Avengers Endgame and similar movies like that, is everything is fake. I would rather have it set as a movie to where, filmed in a similar way to, let's say, Blade Runner 2049, but made it more exciting, is that everything is real. So, like, these people run through real streets. You have to build real streets. You have to build real futuristic vehicles. You would have to blow up real buildings, make it look real. That's what I want in that story. I think it'll be an amazing story.
That's terrifying.
Okay. And it's probably a really lame story when you think about it now. Like saying it out loud, it sounds lame, but I think if you hire an amazing screenwriter, and amazing directors, like if I was in charge, I would. Who would I hire to direct the film? Who's young and can make a movie like this?
Would you direct it?
No, I don't have the skill set, but I would executive produce it. But I would let the creatives do their thing because I don't want to, like, I think the best movies are where there's someone who gives direction, but the creative people do. So maybe out of younger directors, Perhaps I always confuse Gareth Edwards with Gareth Evans. One of them directed Rogue One. The other one directed The Raid. So the guy who directed The Raid, I'd want him directing this movie.
Oh my god!
And
Why?
I definitely want him to work together with David Leitch and Chad Stahelski as far as the choreography. If those folks are not available, James Gunn would also be a phenomenal director for. Yeah, I would think.
I can kind of sense the vibe a little bit from each one of their styles.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't want to put your idea out there, so we're gonna play some music in between that, like elevator music, so you guys don't steal his ideas. Spoiler for me, not for you. What advice would you give to someone who's trying to start a career in YouTube?
Free up a massive amount of your time for it. Basically, it's similar to training for a marathon. There's a good joke is, if you train for a marathon, and by the time you're done training, you still have a girlfriend, or you're not divorced, you didn't train hard enough. Same thing, if you want to do YouTube, and you want to really do it, you're not going to have time for a whole lot of other things. Unless you want this to be your life, don't.
Okay. Yeah, I could feel that a lot. Just do it, right? Mm-hmm. That's the only way to do it. Like when I started on Instagram and I started growing my stuff on there, I had to dedicate the time to making the reels and doing the edits and all that. And it took a lot of my time, but I loved doing it. So
exactly,
it was fun.
Just like with anything else, when you're creative, the first few things, like the first few pancakes you make are probably going to look like muffins. But eventually you're going to make a pancake that someone's going to want to eat it. And same thing, the first video you make is probably going to be like the kind that'll make your grandma want to slap you. But eventually you'll find your footing. So if you want to do this, dedicate yourself to it and enjoy it.
Max, if you had a time machine, where would you want to go, past or future? And where would you go and why?
What are the rules of time travel in this scenario?
Well, you can either go to the past, the future, and any place.
Yes, but I'm talking about what are the rules of...
Not in outer space.
I'm not...
Okay,
like,
a different
what are
planet.
the rules of time travel? Are they like Back to the Future rules of time travel, Terminator rules of time travel, or Marvel rules of time travel?
Oh, man.
Those are all different.
Come on. I don't know. Okay, well, like any, okay, so the rule, like, of, if you go to the past, if you mess something up, it changes the future type stuff, yes. But then if you go to the future, nothing happens. It's just all kinds of weird, like, what is that? Like, like, who are you?
All right. Well, so Back to the Future rules.
Yes, okay.
So then there's always a temptation to go in the past and make something better. Like, a lot of people said, well, I'll go in the past and prevent the Library of Alexandria from being destroyed. Or, like, go in the past and prevent something. But I think that if you change something like that, no matter how horrible the event in the past, you don't know how it would work out. So, like, if you prevented the Black Plague, you don't know what the world would be like today. So, same thing. So, I guess... if I were to, and same thing, if you want to go in the future, honestly, if I went to the future, I would have too much temptation to become Biff. Because in the future, I'd want to look up something and then come back in the past and, like, take advantage of it.
Oh.
Like, maybe come back with, like, an invention that would make the world better now. It would be amazing to just go in the future and figure out, have we cured cancer? And if so, how? Come back and, like, implement that and, like, or something like that. But there's too much of a temptation to, like, be... I think you will probably start out by having good intentions, but in the end, you'll become a villain.
Like Dr. Evil? When he'd go back in time and he would take credit for all them songs.
Pretty much, yes. Yes, because you may have good intentions, but you'll end up making things worse. So I'd rather not.
Okay. I was just gonna be simple and say I would probably just go to the past and live in a castle and eat fruits and have animals and be merry and happy all day.
So you said that in the I remember you saying that in Highlander.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do when you're in this castle and you break a tooth?
I would just let life happen. Just let it happen.
Do you know how painful that? Like, you've broken teeth before.
No.
You've never broken a tooth?
No.
Well, hopefully it never happens to you, because it's very difficult to describe just how painful it is.
Oh my god.
Because I've broken a tooth a couple of times, and there's a nerve inside the tooth, and it can become exposed, and the pain is insane.
Oh
There's just
no.
insane levels of pain, and the only solution for that in those
Just to
times
pull it?
was to just and like whack.
With like a rock in us.
Yeah, they would put a rock or something or a piece of metal and just knock it. Remember, you've seen
Castaway. I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you
So
were
like
gonna say that.
I don't like a lot of people complain that our life sucks because of this and because of that.
No, it was worse back then. I know
Everything
that
was
for a
worse.
fact.
Yeah, so no, I
Yeah.
would definitely not want to live in a time when there's no proper dentistry.
I want to be where there's potential unicorns and stuff like that.
Well, I have to admit but they're fictional characters, so time travel
I
won't
know.
get you to unicorns.
But they believed in them at least back then.
Will you believe
See?
in them now?
I know.
Just the only
But no
difference
one
is
thought I
more
was
people believe them.
weird. Yeah. I would be crazy Cora back then and everybody would think I was fine. Oh my goodness. Max, we talked about food earlier.
Okay.
One other question I have is,
Mm-hmm.
what is your all-time favorite food? And it doesn't matter how big it is,
Mm-hmm.
but you could it's so delicious that you would sneak it into a movie theater. Like you would just plop it on the table right there.
I mean, I do that now. I bring, though nowadays, actually, no, I'm sorry, I don't. Nowadays, I always get popcorn because I have Regal Unlimited, so you get a discount on the popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
But without that, before, I would always sneak in massive quantities of jelly beans.
Really?
Yes. I would bring in, like, not the Jelly Belly jelly beans. I prefer the giant store brand jelly beans because they are massive. Like, they're regular Jelly Belly is like this big.
Mm-hmm.
But the Giant or Target brand ones are like this big. And in Giant, back when Giant wasn't like ludicrously expensive, they were $1 a pack. So I'd buy 5 and I'd bring them to the movie theater.
I have recently used this bag
Mm-hmm.
to hide chips, sodas, candy.
That's why I have my little backpack, which is really I pretend it's not a man purse, but it's a man purse. And I bring usually a water and or I've also brought Pringles to the movies before.
Yeah, I've done that too, actually, too. Liam likes Pringles. But what would you bring in, like, no matter what the size? Like for example, I would probably bring in, like, a lobster dinner, plop it on there, you know? I would do that. What would you bring into there, too?
Well, I know I would be embarrassed because there are other people around me. Like, I don't have enough to share. Remember that episode that we watched a video from Dude Perfect when the guy brought a steak dinner to the movies?
Which movie was that?
We watched, maybe it was Hannah and Tori that watched it. There was a Stereotypes movie theater by Dude Perfect. We did a Patreon reaction to it.
Oh.
Maybe you didn't do it. Maybe it was Hannah and Tori.
I don't know. I do remember the types, like something along that, like
Gym
there was
Stereotypes video.
Oh.
But we did two: one reaction to gym stereotypes and a reaction to movie theater stereotypes. Maybe it was a Hannah. No, I thought Hannah and Tori watched the gym one.
Oh, okay.
Well, but anyway, so the guy brought a steak dinner to the movies. So if I knew I was going to be alone at the movies, steak and mashed potato.
Yes, I was gonna say the lobster with the mashed potatoes, butter. Yep.
I'm
Oh my
hungry now.
god. All right.
The diner has our diner has like filet mignon as a special. I think every Tuesday, and it's just amazing. It's massive.
Oh, nice.
And it's just amazing. It's a great way to, like, if I know there's going to be a long run a couple of days later, I go and eat that.
Nice. All right, Max, one final question.
All
How
right.
would you rate this interview and me as an interviewer?
It's definitely the most fun interview I have done. So I guguess this is the best interview I've ever had.
Yes. Well, I'm glad.
How would you rate me as an interviewee?
I've learned a lot. I did. I learned a lot. It was very interesting. And then like a thing is that I'm really random. So like, how would you react to random questions? You genuinely thought about them. Like I was expecting a little like, what? Like, why did she just ask me that here? But you were like, well, wait a minute. So like it was a lot of fun. I had fun. This was fun for me. So I had fun learning about you some more.
Folks, comment if you want us to do more of these with everyone here. So like Toy would interview Hannah, Tori, and Abby, and then one of the other girls would interview Toy, and we'll see how that goes. And somebody has to interview Boo.
Yes. And now you guys see why it's fun to say outrageous things to Max, because he acts a certain way. It's fun. Lots of fun. Right, Boo?
Boo. They're just here to bully me. That's what so you guys, that's pretty much what goes on when we film, is I sit behind the camera, and before and after we film, all they do is bully me.
We just have fun. Just a little. Oh, so much fun, man.
And I'm supposed to be the boss. Like, I'm the one who gets bullied.
You're like the teacher that we play the pranks on. Like as soon as you sit down, like you're just a whoopee cushion or something.
I was thinking about when you were doing the last podcast episode, and you were saying who should play somebody. Tori said, either Tori or you said that Jason Statham. And all I was thinking was like Jason Statham is like a whole head taller than I am. He could probably pick me up with one arm. But so I gave that question a lot of thought actually when editing the video, and I kind of based on what other people have said before. Yeah, the person I think would do best playing me, well, you'd have to get a haircut, but with Tommy Wiseau. He would be the best to play me because he's got the accent,
okay,
the complete lack of acting skills, or possibly he has the greatest acting skills of all time, and he just fooled us all. So I think that Tommy Wiseau would be the right person to play me. Comment if you agree or disagree, and also comment who should play Boo.
Boo should play Boo. She should be the only original as herself. Like almost like they did in the Little Rascals, Petey as himself.
Well, like you watched yesterday, you recorded the reaction to Last Action Hero, and there was so many actors like Jim Belushi as Jim Belushi.
Oh yeah,
Maria Shriver as Maria Shriver. Yeah,
that was funny. Oh my God, Arnold Schwarzenegger too, when he was talking. And he's like, come to think about it. His wife's just standing behind him like, oh.
That movie is one you can watch 20 times and catch something new every single time. And that's another thing for like folks in the comments. It's not a reason to say mean things like, oh, you girls
just say you gotta watch it again. Check this out your second time.
Mm-hmm. How dare you not catch this obscure reference that I only caught when I watched the movie for the 53rd time, but you are supposed to catch it the very first time you watched the movie. How dare you? Mm-hmm. I'm never watching your channel again.
Man, I suck. How dare you not catch that important part, Max? No.
Right, Boo.
But yeah, oh my God.
Well, folks, thank you so much for watching this with us today and listening however you do this. And if you made it through this entire episode, I salute you. Hopefully you didn't play some kind of drinking game, because that would be hazardous to your health. People keep commenting that we should have drinking games, like about you saying, oh my God, or Hannah flipping her hair. Yeah. I actually, YouTube... You can view the entire transcript of a video and then search it. So like I searched the...
That's my hair. I'm so sorry, okay. Missy. You thought it was a bug too.
No, I saw it was her hair.
Oh, okay.
I searched the Gone in 60 Seconds reaction for Oh My God. And there were 53 instances. So hopefully somebody is not playing a drinking game, because we cannot be held responsible for your health if you decide to do that. We strongly, if you do decide to play a drinking game, please do not use real alcohol. We do not condone damaging your own health.
No, we don't. That's terrible. Sorry, I'm still laughing at the number. Sometimes you just get into it and you're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And that right there is like 20 in one. Oh no. Oh my god, that is so funny. Yeah, alright, let's not do that.
Well, everyone has a thing, and it's perfectly fine. That's what makes reactions fun, is it?
Yeah.
Everyone says the things, like, it's awesome, like when Hannah goes, something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Or Tori goes, what are you?
Yeah.
Those are wonderful things.
Dude, I was thinking about Tori too. I was like, she's my favorite because even when she's not saying anything, her look on her face is like...
Everyone has, like, when Abby is shocked, she freezes for like long periods of time
while making a sound. So it's like
sometimes she makes a sometimes
Like,
sometimes it's this sound that I have to warn people about, and sometimes she just goes,
and it would be any
stuck
sound.
in it.
like if she goes back like this and she takes this position, it's ooh. Like she freezes everything, sound and like body.
See, I love the reactions. I love editing.
Sorry,
it's okay. Like, I love this because everyone is so unique, and there isn't we haven't had a reaction in which I didn't find something new that one of you did, like something that extra fun. Like, it's wonderful, and every single reaction somebody does something new that is like hilarious.
Yeah, Hannah has become an alarm for me. So every time something happens, I just look like this, and as soon as I see her smile, I know something's up. I'm like, this is where I should be afraid. She's become like my sign.
Yeah, sometimes, like when I edit, I send, like, you guys know how editing goes, but when I edit, sometimes I send the girls screenshots of moments, and my favorite moments are where Toy's face is like terrified and Hannah is beaming. Like, those are hilarious.
There's so many of those. I laugh too. I'm like, no, we did it again.
So right now, one of our editors is working on the reaction of Training Day for us, and that reaction will have moments like that where Hannah's face is beaming and Toy is terrified.
Dude, I thought it was going to be something totally different. I didn't want to say what I thought it was at the time because I didn't want like it to like, you know, Hannah maybe get like a spoiler kind of thing. But I thought the whole entire time he was going to be like a drug dealer, but I didn't know he was a legit cop. I thought this was all a game, and like then he was like training a cop to be a drug dealer instead, but it was supposed to be an undercover thing, and he was supposed to bust Denzel. Mm-hmm. And then it was just that kind of story.
See, I didn't ever seen the movie before you watched it. So, like, I expected it to be actually like they were going to train, and then something doesn't go wrong. Like, something will, like, there'll be an emergency somewhere, and they have to cut the training. Like in those kind of movies where somebody trains, and on their first day, some kind of bad thing happens. And this trainee is like stuffed in the deep end on the first day. That's what I expected. I didn't expect all of that. But your reactions, both of you, and Josh, who requested the reaction, commented that he loves the reaction. So thank you, Josh, and everyone else who requests reactions on Reactor. You folks are amazing. Not only you introduce us to movies we don't know, but also it is the best way to fund the being able to make Run to the Movies content. Yes, so thank you, folks. And thank you to everyone who comments suggestions for movies, because we take those into account as well. Like, when something is commented like a gazillion times, we know that people really want to see this movie. And so we expedite recording that reaction, which is, for example, why we recorded the reaction to Last Action Hero, because it was recommended so many times. And so, hey, this is a movie we're going to do. All right. Well, thank you all so much. And we will see you in our reactions, and we will see you in our next episode.
Yes. Yay! I hope they had as much fun as I did.